Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, May.
Hi, beauty.
So good to see you.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
been a while.
Yeah, that's true.
Where are you
Oh,
now?
I'm in Prague at the
Wow.
moment. Yeah, yeah. I actually had a couple of weekends ago. I went with a group of friends to the deep dive in Berlin, and after that, a group of them went to Prague, and I followed eventually. And I was like, let's go for the adventure. Yeah. And I couldn't leave.
Wow.
Yeah.
So good.
Yes. Yeah, it's
I'm
really interesting.
I'm still back home in the Netherlands.
Yay. With your
Yeah,
colleague.
I
Mm,
so loved your invitation to talk about our relationships and just to have
mm.
this sisterhood check-in and
Yeah.
see how we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe we can just start with, yes, while taking some breaths back with
Yeah.
sharing what the relationships we're in look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like I would like to like start a little bit earlier with just like touching my face for a second because I can feel this is a subject that brings up so much
Yeah.
energy on one end energy and there's such a longing for massive love in it and it brings also like excitement and a little bit of fear and tension, so I always like to drop in a little
I'll join you.
just
Yeah.
touch my face. This helps already. Yes.
Yes. Telling myself
Oh.
to relax my belly, to consciously relax my belly and let my breath go there helps a lot for me as well. And if not,
Yeah.
I still have this one near.
Oh, cutie. Yes. Oh, that's perfect.
My
I
little
am.
boys.
This is where I am looking at.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
for you. And this, I don't know if you see the colors, but this gorgeous, gorgeous,
Wow.
tiny. So that helps me a lot. Yeah. Right. Good. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hi. So, like, I have a long distance relationship, and we know each other now for the end of September. We have an official relationship, but we know each other from July, I think.
Mhm.
And he lives in the United States, completely on the other side of the United States, or West Coast. So that's quite far. So we see each other now and then. Um, and yeah, so that's we have decided when we started, there was a moment where we both felt like, okay, let's be exclusive for each other because we're just starting, and that felt better.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So, and there are some things changing now in that area, in the sense of that my partner also longs, or he noticed that he is holding back in his relationship towards other women. And I noticed myself that I recognize that so much. It is such an easy dynamic to go hold yourself back in connection because we some like I still also have that conditioned idea of when I'm with a man, I should be completely for him,
Yeah.
which is weird. And there's even like when I give a hug to another man, like a little bit
Mhm.
longer, it's like, oh, can I do this? Like that little bit of a like weird energy that comes in then. And I also was quite clear that I because I'm so aware of that, I'm like a lot more clean and clear in that, I think. And I have the sense that he's still also like a little bit more like searching in that path and just feeling his way there. Um, so I think that's the situation for me now.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, and that yeah, and mostly that stirs up things the fact that he's searching, and so not yet completely clear on what it is that he really longs for. He's also a tantric worker, so there's and he like there's a longing to like revive that a little bit. So there's a lot of stuff going on that is really interesting for me. It's like,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, and especially the unclarity around it makes me like lose my brain sometimes. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Oh, I can understand that so deeply.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
How about you?
It's similar and different. It's interesting. I'm in a long-term relationship as well with
Okay. Do you mean
someone.
long term or long
Long
distance?
distance.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
always confuse those terms. It's both long term and long distance.
Right.
But yes, definitely also long distance. Although it's compared to you, it's more like medium long distance.
Mhm.
My
Mhm.
partner is from France, and he's living
Okay.
in France part of his time, and he's traveling. Like he's also spending time in South America and wherever his heart's bringing him.
Mm.
And we also met in August last year, so similar time as you. And we're also in a relationship since September, so it's basically similar timing as you.
Oh,
Yeah, I
wow.
didn't realize that.
No, me neither.
And we have been in an open relationship since the beginning of our relationship.
Mm.
And my desire is very clear that I want to be primary partners so that we are each
Okay.
other's main partner.
Yeah.
And besides
Same
that,
for me.
there is space for other people, for lovers. Like we like to have the metaphor of a kingdom where he's the king and I'm the queen of the kingdom, and we can
Right.
have some allies who are like, you know, supporting the kingdom,
Yeah.
bringing in experiences that are like bringing to both the individuals, all of the individuals involved, as well
Right.
as to the relationship as an
Mhm.
entity on its own.
Mm.
And that sounds all very wonderful, but it's challenging as well. And I think it might be a similar um, a similar thing being triggered in me, and maybe you recognize it. But for me, it's the unsafety. Like I can feel
Yes.
so unsafe because both my partner and I were like, we're not going to promise each other anything that might not be true. So we won't tell each other like we will
Wow.
be together for the rest of our lives because we don't know. So
No. Oh my goodness, I love that.
I love it too, and it scares
Yes.
the shit out of me because we also like I feel a strong desire to like spend more time with each other than with others. And
Mm.
he's like, I cannot promise you that because I don't know how things will go. And
Ah, yeah.
basically that insecurity, and I guess it's similar to yours, has been triggering me for the last days where
Mm.
nobody did anything wrong,
Right.
but this desire in me that's, you know, this balance of feeling free and feeling safe is now a bit on the unsafe side. So I'm glad
Mm.
my eyeliner is like on my eyes again because I've been crying a lot the last
Yeah.
day
Yeah.
just because of feeling so unsafe.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I recognize that so much. I had so we like what I always like to what I really need to feel in order to feel safe is like container and containment, like
Yes.
clarity. And um, we transferred a couple of months ago from a very strong container. We said like the first half a year he invited me to jump into the relationship and stay there for first half a year and just see what happens. And I agreed on that, and so on the end of that, I started to open up, and I was like, "Oh, I do kind of like you, and maybe I do want to have children one day with you, and maybe I do want to get married one day to you." No, not maybe. Even there was a moment where he even asked me if I would wanted that, and if I wanted to be in a longer, not longer, more serious connected relationship. And I could feel my heart burst open and say, "Yes, that's what I
Mm.
want." And
Mm.
even when he asked me like, so, and we had a really beautiful conversation. I think it was something that he said like, "And I want to know if you want to marry me." And I was like, "Yes." And that was really like unexpected for me because I for a very long time thought that I would never marry. Um, And then the whole stuff around that time was as well, like the whole stuff around relationships and the longing to connect with other women came in. And so we were transferring into a more open space, and there were more like for me unsafe things coming in. So we are not yet now like on a very clear area, which stirs up a lot in me. As well as that we agreed on we make agreements in our relationship, and we haven't done that yet. We haven't created new agreements, partially because I was traveling, he was in retreats, he's working a lot right now, so there's not like we haven't settled yet. So there's more and more stirring up, and then it's harder to settle, so you get that loop. But what I see mainly, as you spoke to that unsafety and the longing for more security in a way. I think that's what you said, right? That's like, yeah. Yesterday evening, I was in a very beautiful mountain kind of area, and that clears up my brain a lot of times. And there was so much stirring in me, and I was like feeling really like out of the group. The whole group speaks Czech, and so I was like, I don't understand a lot of it, and I realized that from a very young perspective, I have had the idea that I am not being received in the group, that I'm not being part of something bigger. And out of that, I noticed for myself that there is a dependency dynamic that comes up quite easily in connection with my partner, because I hold on to something that is saying, yes, I like you, I want to be part of you, I want to include you. And as soon as he starts to drop away a little bit, it's like, and I want to like hold on to it. Yeah. And this morning I realized that for me, that has a lot to do, and it turns my stomach when I think about it, is the feeling of non-existence, or the fear that my existence is denied. And it's not so much my whole existence, but it is a part of me that is sensual, that is emotional, like now, that is feeling unsafe. Or that is like in the moment that he shares, like, hey, I had a connection with somebody else and I find her a beautiful, attractive woman, that the feelings that I have in that moment are not really welcomed there, that I don't get the space to drop in and to feel that. And I can feel that now as well, like that is something that I can see is not completely connected to him. It's former lovers, it's the relationship, of course, with my father, but yeah, to be received and to have a man with you who is present for that side is for me essential when I do something like this. And if I know that he will like show up over and over again, then I will feel way more received and way more loved. And I think that will like balance a lot out for me. Like a lot of the unsafetyness will drop away.
Yeah, I'm experiencing exactly similar feelings, you know, when my partner tells me that he's connecting with other women who are usually awesome because he's fucking awesome. So the women he attracts are awesome, which is both amazing because I know he's very picky. So I know when he's interested in someone, then she can usually bring something for me too, you know, even if it influence through him. And at the same time, those women are threatening because they are so awesome. And I feel both that. as well as that I've experienced that my partner is like so good at receiving me, whatever the emotion is that comes up, and there's often quite lots of fear, of anger, of sadness, whatever is being triggered. There's there's a lot of juice there. There's a lot of emotions, and because I know he's receiving me so well, and because I'm on the one hand feeling so safe in this relationship, I'm feeling so unsafe. It's like it feels like such a paradox that because I feel so safe, all these little things that I skipped in the past are coming up.
Yes.
And
oh, yeah.
and I feel so safe that a lot is coming up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I recognize that massively. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that. I'm not the only one.
No, absolutely, you're not the only one. And I just when you shared around, just to go back a little bit, what you share about that you love the women that come in connection with him because he attracts beautiful women, and the fact that you name that is already like out of the pain that we feel somewhere, or the fear that we feel somewhere. It is so easy. It's so easy to condemn those women and to say, fuck you, stupid bitch, or whatever. I recognize that. It's so easy to do that. It's like, what does she have
like
that I don't?
Monster.
Right. Yeah. But and it is also there.
Yeah.
And it's so good that anger, that pain, if that gets a voice, there's like, it's half of the work.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of the work. Yes. And also, yes, it's the sisterhood part, and also to see now how much this takes of a partner, of a man in our cases, to be with. Like it's and the other way around too, if they are emotional for us to be with, but to be willing to be with someone, because it takes a big tree to halt this much of storm that passes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And I recognize that completely.
Yeah.
I have so much admiration for the strength that my man has in that way. It's not a muscle strength. It's another kind of strength.
Yes.
And it asks from men as well that they really deeply look inside their own core to be able to hold me in there. And because in that way I reflect things in their soul, and then and that's what also the beauty is, like when in that way we can raise our vibrations in connection with each other. But
I was when I notice when I go into unsafety, it's often my mind picking a scenario that I don't like, pretty much always the worst case scenario I can ever pick. And then when I fix that, then there will be a new worst case scenario. So, and I learned that there's a name for it, that they are called distortion stories. And looking at your face, you're good at them too.
No.
And it goes as far as like, knowing that he's at a 3-day festival somewhere, switching off his phone for a day, me thinking he'll never come home, stay there, have kids with someone. That kind of.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to drop those stories. It's like my mind is like grabbing them, holding on to them, and be like, okay, this is your reality. This is your reality. Can you deal with this? And it's and then my partner, he's wired in a different way, and he's wired in a way that when something is scaring him and it's not serving, he just puts it aside, or he can with some effort can put it aside. And he's like, just do that. And I'm like, I tried that for about 34 years now. It's just not. It's like when I do that, it's like it sits in a corner like this little monster, waits until my mind is not paying attention when I'm taking care of my kids or trying to do some work, whatever, and it suddenly like jumps on me and like,
yeah, like slap you in the face. Yeah.
yes, yeah, they'll squeeze my neck and they're like,
Yeah.
dude, like scaring
Yeah.
me, like, did you forget?
Yeah.
Make it a bit
Ta-da! We're
get out of
back.
your attention now.
Yes. A little bit like the Gremlins when you open up
Oh,
a
so
cupboard and
much.
it's like, rah!
And,
Yeah.
and they take over. It's like my sane part is like losing the control of the wheel. And some gremlins, like Brené Brown describes it that way, I think it's like the gremlins take over.
Oh,
And
really?
it
Yeah.
takes so much effort to kind of zoom out and
Yeah.
to come back to my grown-up version, holding all these
Yeah.
scared children and
Yeah.
telling them like, oh, maybe it's not that bad. Are you sure this is true? Maybe this is not what's happening.
Right. Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah. 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 Oh, I so recognize that. I can hear one of them now saying like, why do I want to go through all of this? Like,
Yeah.
seriously, this is gonna be
Yeah.
forever.
I have
Yeah.
mine is all the time is like, are you sure you want an open relationship? Like,
Yeah.
do you really want that? And then I start doubting it. But then the moment I start like imagining for myself in my situation what a monogamous relationship would feel like, then everything in my system is like, that's not what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently
Yeah.
it's clear that I do want an open relationship, but every time my mind is like, are you sure? And then it's, it's, and I think it'll never change, but it's an art of getting better at it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I do have had experiences as well where I was capable of, because I had so much conviction of the love that I felt for somebody, or because I don't have this only in the relationship, I've had this in several situations. For example, when I start a new project, I have that as well.
Yes.
Then there's like those voices coming in, and but I know for myself, I don't know how that is for you, that when I am really convinced, like, oh, but I'm gonna do this now, I'm just gonna do it, like, then there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Those voices don't even have space. It's just happening. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. And it's like being with this man is such a conscious choice, and and being in this way with this man is a very conscious choice. And it's exactly like you say, everything in me is like, yeah, but this is what we're gonna do and this feels right. And then my mind's like, yeah, but what if this happens? Yeah, what if that happens?
Yeah.
And I guess underneath is what we started with, like underneath is just this very lovable desire for feeling safe. You know, to just, my internet connection is unstable for a moment. Let's see if it's coming back. Ah.
Yeah. There she is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's happening today with with internet and technology, but
Yay.
Let's see if I'm back now.
I don't hear you at the moment.
Today.
Yes, now I hear you.
Yay.
Good.
I'm not sure what's happening. Today is technology is not on my side. Oh, let's see if we can. It's still recording though, so I guess we're still recording everything we're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, so I remember that the last sentence I was saying was like that underneath all these distortion stories is just a loving desire of feeling safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's helping me in our relationship is to create safety, not by making these promises, like I said before, like we're not making promises we can't keep, but like you do too, like making this safe container of agreements that
you spoke You named the other day. You said something around relationship design.
Yeah.
What is your relationship design? I was like, oh, I love that word.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the things me and my partner do is that we really consciously design our relationship. So we started by writing a contract with ourselves of what we
Mm,
wanted to explore in a relationship,
wow.
and the intention, and also deal breakers, like things that would be circumstances that would make that I would not be in the relationship anymore. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think both of us wrote down like not being honest, like lying to each other would be a deal
Yeah.
breaker. And so we wrote things down like that, and then we calibrated on the way. So there's, as you get to know someone, there's always, boundaries you didn't think of, desires you didn't think of. So always things come up, and
Yes.
I think it's kind of normal to break some boundaries or accidentally overstep yourself. Maybe that's a better way of phrasing it, as you go. And
Yeah.
instead of being angry with each other for that happening, we would like see if we can let the emotions flow, and then see if we need to adapt or calibrate our
Right.
relationship agreements.
Right.
And
Nice.
then at 6 months, I think it's similar to what you did too. It's so funny how this is so aligned. Is
Yeah.
at 6 months we sat together, and we checked what needed change, and we adapted some
Nice.
some of our
Beautiful.
agreements. And then it's an ongoing process. It's a living organism.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. We are changing every couple of weeks, or like I think every what is it? I think every 3 days you're a completely new person. Like
Yeah,
your all your cells. It's some, yeah. I have to look it up, but something like that. Yeah.
I thought it was like 6 weeks or something. Like, but
Oh, maybe that's it. Okay.
yeah,
I'm a bit faster.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, what
Yeah.
are some of your agreements? Do you know them by heart?
Um, yes, let me think. Well, we haven't set up new agreements at the moment. So it's quite open still. But one of the agreement is, and I really like that one, is that if we cannot come back to love together, if we have a hard time like feeling love towards each other, that we find a third party.
Mm,
I think within 24 hours or something like that. Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. That we find a third party to support us in there. So because sometimes you just need a translator and a mirror to
Yes.
get clearer what the other person is saying, because yourself is I know that for me though, I can at one point sometimes hear or see somebody talking across from me, and I only hear you're bad, you're bad. Like, I'm bad. So then it's really good that somebody else says, so May, did you hear that he really loves you? Oh, okay, yeah.
I
And then,
forgot. I just completely
right,
forgot. Oh,
did
you
he say
actually
that?
love
Yes,
me. Yeah.
yes, he
I can
does.
totally forget that too, that he actually loves me. I can totally forget that when I'm triggered.
Yeah,
So
me
it's
too. I
hilarious.
Yeah, I can even be convinced that it's the opposite.
Oh yeah.
My goodness.
It's something I do a lot actually, is like checking
Yeah.
in with him, like, do you actually still love me? And he knows by now that that I'm not that I just need to hear it. So by
Yes,
now
yes,
he's
yes,
very
yes,
patiently, and he just tells me, yes, I
yes,
think you're awesome. You're the best
yeah,
partner I can wish
yeah,
for, and I fucking
yeah.
love you.
Oh, wow. Yes, awesome. Yeah, and like one of the things that I really love, it's not an agreement, but what he does for me, that you were saying, like that your man knows so well, like when you ask that. Yesterday I sent him a message, like it's not okay for me that I feel really alone in the connection or disconnection at the moment, and it's not okay that I have been opening up to you and I don't feel feedback back, and that I feel so distorted and fear and pain and doubt. That's really not okay for me. And
Yeah.
I love that he responds now with, "No, it's not okay that you feel that way, and I'm with you, and I love you." And like, it's like this morning, that's what he sent me, and I was like, "Oh, okay,
Oh.
oh, right, right, yes, right, true, okay, right."
Yeah,
Now we
it's
can do
like we almost start to believe that our partner is against us. Like that's a feeling I have
Exactly.
a lot, that I'm like holding him back,
Exactly.
that he's against me and my desires. And
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I'm so glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah. No, you're not. No, absolutely not. And what I'm really interested in is in how far can I kind of eliminate those extremities, so I have more safety and more rest for myself, as well as that I'm also so curious, like where does that arises? So
Yeah.
it's you as well, being a mom of three gorgeous daughters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so curious, like where does that arise in relationship? Because I truly believe that the first like 7 and then 14 years of your life, like build a certain imprint of how you respond to other people. And I'm always so, yeah, I'm so curious about that.
Ask me in 20 years and you can tell you how they grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I know that we learn most about relating from the example of our parents, not about what
Yes.
they say, but just what we see happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm curious. I don't know. Yes, you probably heard my kids in the background. They're in the house,
Yes.
and I don't know. The only thing
Yes.
I
I've
can
met your kids as well,
yes,
and I have to say, like I've told you that before, but I have what I saw is um, your all your daughters have a certain centeredness and a certain knowing. Like can sense that in their energy and then in their emotions. Um, like they have a certain confidence, and
yes.
that's definitely a sign for me, like that, like like
I
not
do
this.
something well.
Yes, yes, you're doing amazing. That's what I want to say. Like
Yeah,
it
even
is.
even though
Yeah,
I'm not with their father anymore, so I'm not giving them an
exactly.
imprint of staying together with someone when it doesn't feel right,
Yeah.
and that's actually part of my agreements is that we both like our agreements are not so much of this is okay to do and that's not okay to do,
Mm-hmm.
but more like intentions. So of course we do have an agreement on safer sex policy, like how are we taking
Right.
care of hygiene for each other,
Nice.
for ourselves
Yeah.
when connecting with others. But
Yeah.
most of our other agreements are like the desire to stay true to our inner intuition, to our heart's
Right.
desire, to our
Yeah.
boundaries and limits, and to express them to each other.
Right.
And you know, knowing that they can change.
Yeah.
And similar to yours, and I've been inspired by others too, that like coming back to love and not making decisions when I feel triggered.
Oh,
And
I love that.
yeah, like
Yeah.
no, we make the worst decisions when we're triggered. And then what
Yes.
I really
Yeah.
love about yours is that seeking for help. Like I feel that there's still such a taboo on having a third person, having a look at your relationship, especially at the beginning, because then something's wrong. And
Yeah.
and I don't believe that. It's just so helpful to have someone who can like see the dynamic from a third perspective, or see like the shadows
Yeah.
that are behind us, so that
Right.
we don't see our
Right.
own or each other's shadow,
Right. Yes.
and then to just reflect that. So you know, I was writing down last night late to my partner. I was writing down that in every relationship the same dynamics will pop up as you've experienced
Mm-hmm.
before in previous relationships.
Yeah.
The difference is that we picked up tools along the way, and that we've got more and more tools to deal with it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's what's
Yes.
making change.
Exactly. And for me as well, it's like it's no longer a gremlin. It's
Yeah.
like, oh wait, that's that like extreme, or it's not, let me say, it's not no longer a unrecognizable or an unpredictable gremlin. I start to see like, oh, that's the orange gremlin, he does this way, and that's that's the pink one, she does that way. And
Oh, I
then
love
I
that.
can, yeah, like the pink gremlin. I was like,
Yes, befriending. I'm gonna give them colors too. I really like that. Yeah, it's like befriending
yeah,
our fears and our inner children, and
right.
yeah, and feeling compassion for all these
Yeah,
feelings we feel, like
yeah,
including the judgments towards other people, including
yeah,
forgetting that our partner loves us,
yeah,
including our own uh, I don't know what kind of feelings we sometimes feel for other
yeah,
people who try to touch our man.
mhm,
As
yeah,
well as the love that's also there for me for all those people, and the love and appreciation I have for others to see the beauty in my
right,
partner. or to feel the appreciation for me. Like I get a lot of appreciation for who I am
Right.
through people that my partner meets.
Mm.
You know, that's that side is there too. Like I can imagine that when people listen to this, it's like, why would you have this? Why would you actually do this? Because there's so much. Why do you want to get triggered so much? But
Right.
for me, it's like, you know, I feel that this is not about my partner. This is not about these people. This is about me on a lifelong mission of becoming more free than I was.
Right. Right. Exactly. That's exactly it. And
Yeah.
whether that's through your partner or through the partners of your partner is like, yeah.
Or different
Yeah.
routes like meditation or doing
Yeah.
sports or doing yoga, or there are
Yeah.
so many ways to get somewhere. And open relating or relating in general is happens to be a path that we both chose.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
partner's with us apparently.
Yeah. Nice. 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 Yes. Ah. Mm.
Ah,
Ah. Yeah. Mm.
this feels like a beautiful circle round.
Yeah.
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 Shall we breathe to a closing of this session?
I like that.
Thank you so much.
Mm. Thank you.
I'm loving this interaction. I'm loving
Yeah.
to share this, and
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to do this more often.
Yes. Me
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Mm. So for now, big kisses for you and your practices and
Yay.
all your pink
Oh.
orange gremlins.
Yeah.
Mm.
I got Care Bears too, luckily.
Yeah. 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 Me
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
Oh, have a beautiful day.
beauty.
Mm,
Thank you. You too.
love you.
Bye.
Bye bye.